Welcome back, all you awakened savages. And today I've got a video that's going to hit hard for some of you. Now, I want you to look at your last name for a second. Now, that's not just a name, just a label. It's a ledger. Debts paid, oaths kept, battles survived just so you could breathe today. And this is the thing that most people don't talk about. You come from people who refused to die. Famine, war, disease, poverty, addiction. Your line made it through all of it. So you are not random. You're a continuation. And yet most men live like peasants in a kingdom their ancestors bled to build, numbing out, shrinking, forgetting where they came from. Now, this isn't about crowns and castles. This is about duty. Royal blood isn't privilege, it's responsibility. It means your choices don't end with you. They will be carried forward and backward right through your line. So let me ask you something straight. Are you honouring your bloodline, or are you breaking it? Are you passing strength to your children or handing them unfinished business? Right, today we're going to dive deep into the truth of royal bloodlines. Not conspiracy, not fantasy, just real stuff. Right? Why your body remembers what your ancestors survived. Why certain patterns hurt your family. Why some men are born carrying more weight, and how to turn that weight into power. Now, if you ignore this, you'll waste an inheritance you didn't even know you had. If you face this, you'll become the ancestor your bloodline thanks. This isn't about being special. This is about being accountable. This is about being a warrior. You don't need a throne. You need a standard. You might hear the word royalty and think of privilege, crowns, castles, and bloodlines that separate the special from the ordinary. Right? That picture is a lie. The truth is this. Every so-called royal bloodline was created in sacrifice. Kings were once warriors. Leaders were once men who carried their people through famine, war, chaos. They didn't sit on thrones. They fought in the trenches, in the mud. They bled, they endured, and they refused to break when others fell. And here's the real shock. You carry that same lineage, or you wouldn't even be watching this video. Every man alive today descends from survivors. If your ancestors hadn't endured, if they hadn't stood their ground when everything else was against them, you wouldn't even exist. So when I say royal bloodlines, I'm not talking about privilege, I'm talking about responsibility. Because the truth is, you inherited more than DNA. You inherited unfinished battles. You inherited patterns that will either break you or build you. And the question isn't whether you come from royalty. The question is whether you will live like it or you will waste it. Right? This is not a time to bury your head in the sand and just accept that reality is the way it is. This is just who I am. Right? When you forget your bloodline, you betray it. Right? Your ancestors fought for survival. They endured famine, disease, war. They carried scars that you will never see, just so that you could wake up today. And yet, most men trade that inheritance for cheap highs, empty comfort, and meaningless distractions. You don't need an enemy army to conquer you. You let yourself be conquered by the bottle, the phone screens, the porn tabs, the easy escape, the numbing out. Think about this. Your great-grandfather might have worked 16 hours a day in the mine just to feed his family. He might have fought in multiple wars. Your ancestors may have buried their children, buried their brothers, buried their friends, and just kept moving forward. Right? And what do you do with that inheritance? Do you scroll, escape, numb out, waste it? This is the peasant mindset inside a royal bloodline. Right? A man with king's blood who lives like a slave to his own impulses. And it's not just your life it costs. Every weakness you tolerate becomes the weight your children have to carry. Every addiction you avoid facing becomes a pattern they inherit. Every standard you lower becomes a legacy that they live under. Right? If you forget your bloodline, you break it. Not because fate curses you, but because you refuse to honour what was given to you. Right? The cost of forgetting is always the same. Right? A man who was born to lead becomes a man who hides. A man who was chosen to rise becomes a man who falls. A royal inheritance is wasted in silence. Right, let's get into the mechanics of all this, because this isn't just philosophy, right? It's hard reality. And we'll go science first, right? Modern research in epigenetics shows us that trauma, stress, resilience, they don't just vanish in one generation. right? They get coded into your biology. So that means the fear your ancestors felt in war, the hunger they endured in famine, the discipline they built through survival, it's in you right now. It lives in your nervous system, your stress response, and every single instinct you have. Right? Ever wonder why certain patterns run in families? Addiction, anger, abandonment, poverty. That's not just bad luck, that's inheritance. Cycles passed down until someone finally decides, this ends with me. Right? And it's not just the trauma that's passed down, resilience gets passed down too. That's why some men, even in the darkest seasons of their life, they feel this fire that just won't go out. That's not random. That's your bloodline reminding you, we've endured worse and we rose, and so can you. Now the spiritual side. Right, the law of cause and effect, that stretches through generations. Right, the choice of fathers lived through sons. The decision of men who came before you are still shaping the terrain that you walk today. Right, but the law works forward also, which means your choices now ripple into your children and your children's children's. Right, then you've got the law of correspondence that says as within, so without. If your inner world is chaos, your outer world will reflect it, and your family will inherit that. But if your inner world is disciplined, ordered, aligned, your bloodline begins to heal. Right? And it goes even deeper than that. Your bloodline is not just behind you, it's in front of you. You are the living bridge between ancestors and descendants. The struggles that you face aren't only yours, they are unfinished business of your lineage. And the victories that you claim won't only free you, they'll free everyone who comes after you. Let's talk about the truths for what it actually means to carry a royal bloodline. Right, truth number one, royalty is responsibility, not privilege. Your bloodline isn't a crown on your head, it's weight on your shoulders. If you think being chosen means life gets easier, you've already failed. Royal blood doesn't exempt you from the fight, it demands and expects you to fight harder. Truth number two, the chosen carry heavier trials. Look at your life. If you feel like you've been tested more than others, you probably have. And that is not random. It's proof that you're carrying more. The chosen are tested not to break them, but to forge them, to create them, to build them. Because you can't lead a bloodline if you haven't bled for it. As a famous quote I've heard saying, demons come down the hardest on those who are meant to shine the brightest. And right now, brother, this is your time to shine the brightest. Right, truth number three, every choice is generational. A weak man thinks his decisions only affect him. A royal man knows every action ripples. Your discipline builds freedom your children will inherit. Your weakness will build chains that they will have to break. Legacy is not optional. You're building it one way or another. Truth number four, cycles must be broken. Every bloodline carries shadows, addiction, abuse, abandonment, silence, poverty. If you don't face them, they grow. If you face them, you end them. Breaking the cycle is not punishment. This is initiation. This is why you're here. And the man who breaks it becomes the ancestor future generations will thank by name. And this is the reality. You are already living out these truths whether you accept them or not. The only question is, are you carrying your bloodline forward or are you dragging it backwards? Okay, and the truths that I just laid out there, they aren't modern ideas, right? They've been known and lived by men across every culture for thousands of years. Right? The Hebrews had a saying, the sins of the father will visit the sons. Right? They understood that what one man refused to face, his children would inherit. Right? Bloodlines were never just about names. Right? They were about the weight of choices. Right? The African tribes also knew this. Right? Before a warrior was initiated, he would sit with the elders and he would be told stories of the ancestors. Right? Why? So he carried not just his own life into battle, but the weight of all of those that came before him. When he fought, he wasn't fighting for himself. He was fighting for the blood that ran through his veins. And then if we look at the Vikings and the Nordic clans, they believed that blood carried oaths. Right? They carved the names of their ancestors into stone because to dishonour yourself was to dishonour your entire line. Your blood was a contract, and your actions either upheld it or broke it. Even in Eastern traditions, bloodlines were sacred. Right? The Chinese honoured ancestors at shrines. The Japanese samurai believed that their family name was a sword that they had to carry unsullied. If you disgraced yourself, you didn't just lose honour, you tainted every generation behind and ahead of you. And the point is this, your ancestors already understood what most modern men have forgotten. Blood isn't casual, it's covenant, it's not privilege, it's duty, it's not just history, it's destiny. And when you live with that awareness, you stop seeing yourself as just one man. You start seeing yourself as the living continuation of every ancestor behind you, and then the living foundation of every descendant ahead of you. That is the warrior mindset, the warrior's mirror. You are the bloodline, and how you live determines whether it rises or it collapses. Right? And I can't talk about bloodlines without talking about my own, because most of my life, I didn't live like I carried royal blood. I lived like I was cursed. Addiction ran in my family, so did anger, violence, chaos, and I thought that I was just another broken link in that chain. I gave in to instant gratification, alcohol, drugs, lies, manipulation, you name it, I done it. Right? That path destroyed me. 3 trips to rehab, 4 failed home detoxes, prison time, deportation, depression that crushed me, social anxiety that made me hide from the world. My body broke, partially paralysed. 3 times I wanted to take my own life. At the time, I thought, this is it. This is just how we are. This is my bloodline. This is what my family's like. Broken men create more broken men. But I was so wrong. Because what I thought was punishment, that was my preparation. And when I had my spiritual awakening, everything shifted. I saw the cycles I carried weren't curses, they were assignments. I wasn't just suffering them, I was chosen to break them. Addiction ended with me. Manipulation ended with me. Weakness ended with me. Depression ended with me. Now my children don't inherit these chains. They inherit a father who is sober, disciplined, present, and alive. They inherit strength instead of silence. They inherit freedom instead of bondage. And this is the thing, every single man watching this is in the exact same position. You've inherited shadows. You've inherited pain. You've inherited unfinished battles. But you've also inherited the chance to break them. And when you do, you will change your whole bloodline forever. Okay? And how do we actually honour our bloodline? How do you stop the cycles that have been passed down to you and build strength that your children and your children's children will thank you for? Let me give you some tools that I use, okay? And the first one is always facing the shadow, right? You have to face it. Write down the cycles that have haunted your family: addiction, violence, abandonment, poverty, silence. Be honest about it. Name them, because what you don't name, you cannot break. Okay? Step number 2, reframe your role. Right? Stop saying, this is just who I am or who we were, and start saying, this ends with me. You're not cursed. You're chosen to break it. That shift turns you from victim to warrior. Okay, step number 3, get that discipline in check. Bloodline battles are won one day at a time. Be the example for your children and future generations. Train your body, guard your mind, master your finances, lead your family. Every act of discipline is a brick in the foundation of this new lineage. Okay, step number 4, create new rituals. Your ancestors had rituals. They prayed, fasted, ceremonies, codes. Bring back them in your own way. Family dinners, morning gratitude, bedtime talks with your children. No matter what it is, build new rituals, because these rituals become anchors of strength for the next generation. Step number 5, tell the truth. Right? Break the silence. If you've battled addiction, tell your children the truth. Show them both your scars and your strengths. I've told my children everything. My son's 9 and my daughter's 11. I've been upfront, explained to them what I've went through, all the tough times, all the hard times, and they see the man I am now. So they know how strong I am, because they know what I've had to go through to become this man. And they've seen me through tough times, but they always see me every single day doing the same thing, day in, day out. Okay, bloodlines heal through honesty, not by pretending, but by owning the story. Okay, step number 6, serve beyond yourself. Royal men don't live only for their household. They carry their community. They mentor younger men, support brothers who are still struggling. Right? Service multiplies the strength of your lineage into something much bigger than yourself. And here's the thing, brother. Honouring your bloodline is not about being perfect. It's about direction. Every choice you make is either breaking a chain or creating a new one. The man who honours his bloodline doesn't wait for permission. He lives like his children are watching, because guess what? They are. They are watching every single step that you take. And here's the truth of it, brother. Every man wears a crown, right? Not one you can see, not gold, not jewels, but it's there sitting on your head the moment you take your first breath. That crown is your bloodline, right? It's the price your ancestors paid so you could be alive. It's the survival of every man and woman who carried their people through storms so that their line could continue. And now it rests on you. But here's the question. Are you worthy of it? Because the crown is not privilege. It's not comfort. It's responsibility. It's a weight. It's a duty. Some men live like kings without a castle, proud, boastful, talking like they're something special but carry nothing. Other men live like warriors with no crown, strong, disciplined, faithful, but forgetting they're part of something much bigger. The chosen man, he unites both. He wears the crown and honours it. He builds a castle with his own two hands. He leaves it standing for his children and the children that come after them. So let me ask you straight. When your children speak your name, will they say that you broke the chain or that you carried it? Will they say that you built a legacy or wasted it? Will they say that you wore the crown with honour or you tossed it aside for comfort? Because every man wears a crown, but only a few live worthy of it. The question is, will you? All right, brother, let's jump into the field mission. In the next 24 hours, I want you to sit down with a pen and paper with no distractions and write these 3 things down. Number 1, the cycles in your bloodline that need to end with you. Addiction, silence, poverty, scarcity, anger, whatever it is. Number 2, the strengths in your bloodline that you will carry forward. Resilience, discipline, loyalty, faith. And number 3, the one action you will take this week to honour your bloodline. Not talk, not someday, but action. And when you finish, I want you to say this out loud. I wear the crown. I honour the blood. This ends with me. Then take that action. Because chosen men don't just write, they move. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what cycle ends with you. Right? Your words might be the spark that another man needs to hear so he can rise. If this hit you in the chest and you want to be part of this journey, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because every week I will be on here going deep into the truth that most men are afraid to talk about. No BS, no fluff, no hype, just real honest conversations and tools for men who are chosen to lead. And if you're ready to go even deeper and you want to walk shoulder to shoulder with other men who are breaking cycles and building legacies, then reach out to me. Right now, I'm building something amazing, right? The Awakened Savage community. This is a brotherhood where men sharpen each other like iron on iron, where excuses get burned away and purpose gets created, where we hold each other accountable to the standard of chosen men, fathers, husbands, leaders, warriors. If you know it's your time and you're ready to wear that crown with honour, then reach out, right? The Awakened Savage community is waiting for you, brother. My contact details will be in the description. And as always, I truly appreciate every single one of you for being on this journey with me. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I see you, I respect you, and I love you. Now go out there and get it. Have a great day. Got a video here, and you can subscribe here. Take care. Bye.